Hello, this is Ben119 and welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to carry on with the 8-day challenge in Pikmin 1. In day 1, 2 and 3 we got 12 parts and we've got enough blues to do Distant Spring and we have enough yellows as well. So for this day you need at least 90 blues and you need at least 10 yellows. And this is a pretty tight day. It's definitely the hardest day in the 8-day challenge by far. It kind of rivals day 2. I would say there is obviously a lot more going on this day and you need to put in a lot more time to get in 8 days. I think running this route, even if you can't do it in 8 days and if you do it in 9, I think this is still like really fast. I think it's still faster than doing like a 9-day route. So you want to get out 90 blues straight away, and if you didn't have time to flower up your Pikmin on day 3, you could flower them up in like a nectar patch behind like where the onions are. It does obviously waste a little bit of time and you'll be a little bit tighter for time later on in the day, but obviously I flowered them up the day before so it doesn't really matter. So you want to throw 20 blues over there and you want to obviously lead them to that part, and then you want to whistle these Pikmin. So on Wii version, whistling those Pikmin from further away is actually quite fast still because you can reach really far with your whistle. On GameCube you could like disband your Pikmin on the lower ledge, so then when you're controlling the Pikmin on the higher ledge, the other Pikmin end up near where you are anyway. So I threw a bunch of Pikmin on that bridge there. I recommend having 35 with you rather than 32, but I got like 32 with me and that was really fast, and it would just be quicker to carry on with 32 rather than readjusting the bridge, because that can be really annoying to do because Pikmin sometimes grab the shearwigs and that wastes a lot of time. So right here I'm going to be killing this blowhog, so I've made sure to lure him over to this side of the map. The important thing is you don't want him to be close to the water dumples, because if he's too close to the water dumples will see you and they'll try and kill you. At the same time you don't want him to be too far away, like backwards, because if he's too far that way, when the ship part falls down, the Pikmin will carry it round a different way, which is slower, and also they will get eaten by water dumples. And yeah, that's just really bad. So you want to throw some of your Pikmin over here, and you want to put a few of your Pikmin on this part here. I put 21 on there. If I had more Pikmin with me, I think I'd have 24 on there. So now you want to go this way. Also, when I was killing that blowhog, I made sure to start throwing the Pikmin once he started to breathe the water out, because obviously if I do it before, it'll shake him off. Right there I just lured a Wally Hop. If you don't lure that Wally Hop, you can kill the Pikmin on the parts, so make sure to do that. And I have 31 with me here. Now technically you only need 30 for this part, but I like to bring 31 just to be safe, because you can lose a Pikmin in this part, and obviously if you lose a Pikmin that can be bad and you'll have to change the route up a little bit later on. You have to get an extra Pikmin. It's just really awkward to do. So you want to lure that Wally Hop there and lure this one towards you, and when you get back here this one will have landed, so you can lure him into this gap here. So if he's in that kind of area, like that's where you want him, because he's out of the way of these Pikmin here on the bridge. If this is like where you can lose a Pikmin, you can lose like a blue to like these shearwigs because they're annoying. So that's why you bring an extra. So I went round that way. I could have gone to the left after putting them on the bridge, but I would have risked luring the Wally Hop closer to the bridge, so I decided to go to the right, even though it's slightly slower. Walk back to the base, and if you're really fast, you'll actually beat the part. And I actually did that. You know, the part that we started carrying back from the blowhog, we actually got there so fast that that's not even back yet. As you can see, it's over there now. If it's not back yet, just carry on. It's just quicker to carry on rather than waiting around for it. This bridge has only just finished, so if you put the right amount on the bridge like I did there, it will finish just in time as you get back to it. So that'll work out nicely. Playing this area with snitch bugs, I know I've mentioned snitch bugs a few times. We don't have to worry about it because we're on day 4. But the snitch bugs can appear in like really weird places and it can just slow you down a lot. So if you do see a snitch bug, just kill it straight away. Like don't like wait around. I'd just recommend heading towards where he is and killing him, even if he is like slightly out of the way. Like I did like a 9-day run on YouTube. I think it's the 122 that I got. I saw a snitch bug and I ended up killing it just because, even though I could have just avoided it and killed him later, I just wanted to get him out of the way first so he wouldn't cause issues. Because if you don't kill them, sometimes they can cause issues with the bridge Pikmin, or they can just pick up Pikmin that are carrying parts, and it can just ruin your day. So you just don't want to do that. Also, I got some bomb rocks from that skull. Those skulls actually have quite a few bomb rocks in them. You can get 10 bomb rocks, I think, at the most, and I ended up getting 10. I think there's a very small chance you can get 8 bomb rocks, and if you do get 8, either reset the day, or you can go over to where those 2 bull bears are and get an extra bomb rock from there to do the gate. So we're gonna carry back this part here now. If you are doing cutscene skips, it's quicker to leave this part here near the ship and then get a cutscene skip off it later on. But I decided just to carry it all the way to the ship. Technically, it probably would be faster to leave it near the ship anyway, because you can have 2 things going on at once later on. And you can start this section slightly faster, but I decided just to carry it back to the ship because it was really close anyway. So at this point, make sure you have at least you don't really need 10 yellows, you just need to have 10 yellows later. And right here, this section can be really awkward and is known for like killing runs. I lost a few runs here. And basically there's a blowhog and there's 2 bull bears. And the gap between getting through them is really tight. And if you don't C-stick correctly, you can wake up one of the bull bears. And if Pikmin trip over, you have to quickly react to it. That can wake up a bull bear. The blowhog can get involved. It's just really annoying, and it's really annoying to deal with. So you want to kill these bugs, and once they're dead you want to disband your Pikmin over here. You can disband them close to the bugs, but I don't like to go near them because a yellow Pikmin can sometimes carry a bug back and then it can wake up a bull bear, and it's just really annoying to deal with. So get only your blues, and you want to throw a load of blues onto this gate here. So keep throwing them, and you want to have at least 30 on this gate. I like to throw until I have about like 25 left, because we need 25 for another part that we're getting. By the way, we do have a bit of leeway on this section. We have, I think, a buffer of 4 blues. So we can actually lose 4 blue Pikmin in this section and we'll still be okay. When we went to the bridge section, if you bring 30 instead of 31, you actually have 5 extra to deal with, but you shouldn't really be losing 5. But if you lose like 1, for example, don't worry, because you'll be able to do it in time still, because you'll have spare blues to carry back the other part. So you want to get some bomb rocks out of here, so I actually ended up getting 7. You want to get at least 8. I would recommend 9 for beginners because it gives you an extra bomb rock leeway. Obviously getting 10 on the Wii version is a bit slow, because if you don't end up missing any of the bomb rocks, you have to get rid of them by using the water. I like to take out the white gate first, because if you take out the black gate, well, the Pikmin that are carrying the part go past. Sometimes the Pikmin let go of the part because they're really dumb. So once both gates are down, you want to head through here with your bomb rocks, and aim for the left side of the gate. Don't aim for the right, because the Wally Hop on the right will see you. That was really bad there, I accidentally whistled a yellow off. I just drowned in that Pikmin there, so yeah, just make sure the Wally Hop on the right doesn't see you, because he can get involved, and later on you'll have to lure him out of the way. I ended up losing a yellow at that section, and that's actually okay, because we can get out an extra yellow later on in the day, so it doesn't really affect it too much. So leave your yellows here. It's really annoying, the whistle. Sometimes you can accidentally whistle the wrong ones. So bring your blues up to here. So make sure you have at least 30. I took 34 with me so I can get the other part back quicker once I get it. So kill this cannon beetle. I just like to mash all my blues. I know I'm talking like it's a tutorial. This isn't really a tutorial, it's just like a 9-day challenge, but I like just talking about what's going on. I'm kind of used to talking in a tutorial format because I've been making a few tutorials lately for like Mario 64, so yeah. So put all your blues on there. 34 is good. Having less obviously means that the Pikmin will get back to base slower, and that's bad because you want them to get back as fast as possible because they'll be waiting on that part. So once you've done that, get your yellows, and you want to head up here and head to your right. This section is pretty cool. You can just head through with the fire. Make sure not to set any of them on fire. And that you want to do, leave them on that thing there, and they'll start working on that stick. It's just so that they don't get like seen by the Wally Hop, or they get like caught on the ball there, because you don't want that, because that can be really bad. So that bridge should be done. Once that bridge is done, take the Pikmin that were on the bridge, and you want to put them on this part over here. Make sure not to lure the Wally Hop on the right. This Wally Hop here is fine. These 2 Wally Hops over here, you want to lure them obviously, but that Wally Hop over there that I just looked at with the camera, make sure he doesn't see you, because if he gets involved with that part, it can kill the run. There you go, I lured that Wally Hop. And the yellows have just finished working on that, so I'm just going to whistle them all over to me. And we're going to head back to base now. So there's quite a bit left to do. We're on pretty good pace right now. I know I'm talking over it afterwards, and I know that I'm obviously going to get it in this day. But this is a pretty good pace to be on, because you can still make a few small mistakes and you'll still have plenty of time. I'd rather have mistakes near the end of this run, in this day, than near the beginning, because it's just easier. Because I feel less pressure towards the end. Like on this day here, I knew I had quite a bit of time, and I could make a few seconds worth of mistakes and still be okay. Right there's some bull bears, and the really weird thing is he sleeps on a slope, so later on in the day it's actually easier to go past him that way. And this was really bad. I ended up almost like drowning some yellows, and the blowhog saw me and he ended up whistling my Pikmin. Not whistling my Pikmin, spraying my Pikmin with water, and at this point I actually thought the run was dead because he deflowered some of the blues, and obviously my Pikmin are going to be slower, and I was honestly surprised none of the bull bears woke up, because like that was a really big mistake. But I managed to back it up quite well, I guess. So put your yellows up here, leave them in this, I like to leave them in this corner so the blowhog doesn't see them. Usually if you're playing on the GameCube version you want to do bull bear clip, but obviously I'm not going to do bull bear clip because there's a way around it. So you can actually go over here with your blues, and this part over here you're supposed to get it with yellow Pikmin, but you're able to get it with just blues by throwing them up to it, by clipping them up the ledge. I don't think you can't really do it on GameCube version because the throw mechanic's different. But in the Wii version, if you stand about here and you throw your blues, you can clip them up. They kind of clip up that ledge and they are able to grab the part. It's really weird, and just keep trying it over and over and you'll get it. Like even casually, it's quite cool to try out. I like to zoom in my camera there when it's falling down, because sometimes in the past that part is like when it falls down the Pikmin can sometimes let go and it's really bad. So just put as many Pikmin as you can on that part. Like you don't need to put them all on there as long as it's being carried faster than it normally would. I think that's fine. Have about 30-ish on there. Make sure you whistle the Pikmin that fall off it, because if you don't, the blowhog might see them and that can cause issues. Head round here, and there's the other Iomium jet over here, and on the Wii version you can end up just throwing your Pikmin from here to it. On the GameCube version you have to throw them up to that ledge and then throw them, but on the Wii version you have a really long aim. I ended up leaving my blues there, and you may be thinking, why am I just leaving them there? They're just going to die at sunset. And that's just because I had a few extra and I didn't really want to mess up like what I was doing here, because if I left them over here they might mess up where the bull bear is, they might end up attacking the bull bear, they might get in the way. And it's just quicker to leave them because I have like loads of blues anyway, so if a few die after this day it doesn't matter too much because I've got like 100. I got over 100 to be honest. So I'm going to go back to these yellows here, and I'm going to lead them over to this part. And this part is really weird to get on Wii. You kind of have to turn Olimar facing the part, and then throw them. It's really easy for yellows to fall down, and it kept happening to me before, and it was only until like a few days ago where I realised what I was doing wrong. It was my positioning with Olimar. At first I thought it was the way I was like whistling, like C-sticking the Pikmin. I thought that was the issue, but that's not actually the issue. It's where Olimar is standing. So we just got that back, and we're going to head over to get the final part. So we have 62 blues. I would recommend bringing like 66. You can bring 70, but not all of them always grab onto the part, so bringing a few less is better, but obviously the more you bring, the quicker they'll carry it. I like to use the bridge here, because if I go in the water, the Wollihop will see me. Obviously going in the water is faster, but you have the risk of the Wollihop seeing your Pikmin and killing them, so I like to just use the bridge. So there we go, and we've got another part back. I'm not sure if I even mentioned it, but when I was getting the jet part, there were some water dumples, and what I did was I lured them to the side, and then I zoomed in the camera so they'd be off screen. And I did talk about it a little bit, I think, but when enemies are off screen, they have like really weird mechanics, and it's only until you deload them that they actually exist in a way. But when Pikmin walk past them with parts, I think they react differently or something when they're off screen. And by the time the water dumples load back in, it's too late. They can't get the Pikmin carrying the parts, so I just did that. Technically you could kill the water dumples, it's probably recommended for beginners, or you could lure them more while the parts are going back, but obviously just luring them a bit and zooming in is quicker because you can get on with doing other stuff rather than waiting around. A little trick I like to do here is I like to lure these two bull bears into the corner, and I like to get them both to attack me while I'm waiting for the part to go past. They can't actually damage me because I'm lying down. And once I see the part is next to the ship, I ended up getting up because I knew it was near the ship anyway. As you can see, we're very tight on time. We've got like the final countdown going on here. So we gotta quickly finish up, and this is the last part that we're getting back here, so very tight on time. This was a pretty good day 4 as well. I managed to do it all in one day. There was a few small mistakes, but even with like the small mistakes and the good gameplay, you still barely get it in one day. So it is a very hard day to practice. Like, obviously it'll take a lot of time and effort to get good at it. And when you do eventually get it in one day, it is really satisfying. So yeah, just keep going at it and you will eventually get it. I think I had 6 seconds left on the clock. So yeah, that's pretty good, I guess. So day 4 is done. That was the hardest day in the run. So I'm glad that's over. And now we're going to be doing the next days.